how many such Indians would you have interfaced with?
Look,
how many such Indians would you have interfaced with during the time that you spent at the Cayman Islands at Julius Baer?
Yeah, I know what you want to do, but I can't, because if I say anything, then I have a problem tomorrow. But today, I'm on a point. I think the governments, they don't do enough. It's the way to approach this issue, actually. And I talked yesterday to an Indian professor. He says, look, we have to shame and name. We have to name and shame those people or those organizations, and that's on its way. And we need to get the support of organizations. Let's say the OECD, the United Nations is actually fighting poverty.
Then do you think
it's going to be a
global problem here? Do you think the government of India is taking refuge behind a double taxation treaty and is obfuscating the issue, whereas there would be a better way of dealing with data as far as Swiss banks are concerned?
I'm not convinced. I'm only convinced about the approach the United States took.
Absolutely.
But
let me ask you this question,
That's
Mr.
the way
Elmer.
of doing it. You know, you have to force it. Pardon me?
Mr. Elmer, if the Indian government were to approach you and request you to share with them the names of the politicians, the cricketers, the businessmen, the conglomerates who possess these illegal Swiss accounts and whose details you have, are you prepared to promise us, Mr. Elmer, that you will cooperate in such an investigation launched by our finance ministry?
I can't make a public statement to that issue, because again, if I'm going to say, look, I will be in prison tomorrow again. But I do think that society has to take care of it and has to force the Indian government to put pressure on secrecy jurisdictions and put pressure seriously, because India is a very strong country and it's getting stronger every day. So you do have negotiation power.
But the Indian government tells us that the laws are such that they can't push this. They can't push Switzerland. Do you believe that the approach that's been taken by America should also be adopted by India, and that's the only way we'll find out who are the people who are looting our country?
I do think so. That's a way of doing it, because look at the United States. It's also kind of limited. They started off with 52,000 accounts, which they said in the UBS case are Americans. At the end of the day, Switzerland delivered 4,500 accounts roughly. But anyhow, it's the approach they took. And with those 4,500 accounts, they learned about the bankers who were involved. They had names who worked as advisors to set up these offshore vehicles.
So what is the way forward for the government of India, Mr. Elmer? What should the government of India do? Is there a need for political will on the part of the government to actually tackle this?
My view today is in general not. It's not a political will. It's not a political will even in Germany and the UK. You might know about this tax treaty which is on its way between Germany and Switzerland and the UK, the withholding tax. I think the governments are not really committed to it. It needs to be a global commitment which is needed, and global action taken. So you have organizations like International Tax Justice or Global Financial Integrity. They come up with proposals. We're talking about country by country reporting. We're talking about transparency. That has to happen. You might even think of automatic information exchange. Even so, I don't support entirely the automatic information exchange, but why not request the automatic information exchange? And you do know who are the people in those secrecy jurisdictions.